Good afternoon, everyone. Let's start right out of the gate. To live in this world, you must be able to do three things: to love what is mortal, to hold it against your bones, knowing your own life depends on it, and when the time comes, to let it go, to let it go. That's a poem by the fantastic, unique poet Mary Oliver. My name is Austin J. Haynes. Settle in with me here for the next 5 to 7 minutes. 78%, 75%, like three-quarters of Americans say they're dealing with some kind of stress or anxiety that could be impacting their health. What's the key? What's the key to live with more progress, more fulfillment? What's the key for you in this season right now, in this very moment, 12:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, September 14th? What's important to you right now? I want to share a little bit about me, and I'm going to share some concepts that I just kind of been bubbling up today and yesterday, and want to pull them together because I want to give you some value today on what can help you move forward. But are you, or do you find yourself in that stress bucket? And forget the statistic that I just shared. If you could magically measure, what do you think? What is your experience in your world with the people that you are interacting with? How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? Are you stressed? Are you dealing with headaches? Are you dealing with uncertainty? Are you dealing with a level of anxiety that is beyond what you want? Are you contemplating a life change and you're not sure where to start? Well, you're in the right place. So my name is Austin J. Haynes. I worked for a Fortune 500 company for 19 years, and now I am a poet. It's a crazy story, and I'm writing a poetry book called Seeds of Infinitude that I believe is going to have a dramatic impact on anyone who gets it. And that book is going to be coming out this year. But before that, I wrote this book called Flashpoint: Manifesting the Moment of Your Big Breakthrough, endorsed by Damon John from the Shark Tank, written for the side hustler, solopreneur, entrepreneur. It's a deep dive. It's a deep psychological dive to give you a perspective that you may not have, and a perspective that I believe is going to dramatically move you forward. And what's been interesting, while it was written for the side hustler and the solopreneur, I've had people tell me it's been an incredible healing journey for them. And what's great about it, you don't even have to read the whole book. There's a chapter in here called the Bottom Line Chapter, and I just want to get to the meat of it. And it will be out on audiobook as well. But in the meantime, let's talk about a key to move forward, a key for you to move forward. And so one of the things I just uncovered by a gentleman who I was just listening to on the Tim Ferriss podcast, and his name is Arthur Brooks. And so this is going to dovetail right into the topic that I wanted to share. He came up with this idea of a reverse bucket list. And a reverse bucket list is almost the opposite or counterintuitive to what you would think. We're all taught to make our list of everything that you want, dream big. But what he shares here is, what is it that you're willing to let go of? What is it that's on that list that is rooted in, or he says, avoid rootless aspirations? And what I wanted to talk about, which is in line with this, is the ability to let go. What is it that you need to let go of? And by the way, I'm streaming live right now on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. It will be up on the podcast. Just as a little disclaimer, I can't see all the comments coming across, so I will answer the comments after. I'm glad you're here today. And the message I want to convey to you is that, what is it that you need to let go of? And I want to propose that letting go could be the greatest thing that you can do. And sometimes we want to hold on because we've been trained to hold on, and we associate with letting go with quitting, and our psyche kicks in, our ego kicks in. But sometimes what we're attached to is a rootless aspiration. There's no roots to it. It doesn't have strong purpose to it. And my story, I had that to some degree because I had dealt with low self-esteem early on in my life. I dropped out of college. I didn't read my first book till I was cover to cover until I was 21. I had low self-esteem. It showed up. My ego would kick up to try to prop me up, but it was propped up on a weak foundation. Overcoming that, getting into sales, working for a sales company for 19 years, corporate sales, and overcoming a lot of those things. But my greatest aspirations have come from what I'm willing to let go of and allowing the rootless aspirations to let go of, remove my attachment, if you will. And so one of my mentors talks about being fully engaged but completely detached. Think about living that way. Fully engaged, present, but also somehow detached. In other words, you're not trying to manipulate the outcome. So the statistic that I shared is from the American Psychological Association, saying that 3/4 of Americans, according to a survey, are dealing with stress and anxiety and a fear of change. So I want to delve into that. Are you in that box? And is it related to holding on to the way things should be, could be, if something was different? And that something different could be outside of yourself. I wrote down a couple quotes here to add even more to this. Herman Hesse said this: some of us think holding on makes us strong, but sometimes it is letting go. And I would say more often than not, it's letting go. Letting go is paradoxical to what you've been trained and what you've been taught. As a matter of fact, some of you are doubling down, going in the wrong direction. And there's a great metaphor. You might be running west looking for the sunrise, and you double down and you're going to intensify your effort. But maybe what you need to do is pause, let go with what you thought it should be, create the space for you to let your what's supposed to be there arise. And so what I wrote down is the greatest suffering one creates is holding on to something that we are meant to let go. The, the greatest suffering one creates is holding on to something that we are meant to let go. And the other quote that I wrote down, which is relative to my story, the ego wants to hold while the soul longs to let go. The ego wants to hold while the soul longs to let go. And it's in that letting go that you might discover your greatest liberation, your greatest opportunity to begin again. And regardless of what it should have been, could have been, would have been, there's always the opportunity of what it's going to be. And what it's going to be might be outside of an old, rootless aspiration or expectation that you've had. Am I reaching you today? I struggled with a lot of this stuff for a really long time, craving certainty, craving to prove all these things. And it's only in letting go and discovering what's really important. And that's why Arthur C. Brooks, his concept of reverse bucket list, go back to your bucket list. What are you too attached to? And what's the thing where you're saying, should be there by now, should have happened by now. Can you let go? Can you detach? And I'm going to add a little bonus here, which was relevant to me this morning. The word alignment. Are you in alignment with your life? How do you know when you're in alignment? You've let go of all the things that no longer belong. You let them go. Discontent evaporates. You are in full alignment with what is. Suffering can't live there, you see. When you're fully aligned, you fully accept with where you are and what has happened, suffering dissolves. Say, I will be in alignment today. I will be in alignment today. I will let go of what no longer serves me today. I will trust today. My name is Austin J. Haynes. I guess you could call me a life and business strategist. I've worked with multimillionaires and couples on the verge of divorce and everywhere in between. I've spoken to corporations, nonprofits, small organizations, one-on-ones. And also, I am most passionate about poetry. I'm writing a poetry book that is coming from the depths of my being. You can go to austinjhaynes.com. You can follow along whatever platform you're getting this. I appreciate you. I don't even have to know you're watching, but if you want to drop me a line, you can. You can go to YouTube. It's a great place to go. You can subscribe there. I'm putting it at the bottom of the screen. Just search Austin J. Haynes YouTube, Haines. You'll find it. And then if you want to follow along, I'm going to be creating this journey, really. It's going to have travel involved, poetry, nature, history, a video, a vlog, a blog,